Hi, my name's Lee Williamson. Subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary.
Hi, my name is Joby McAnuff. Subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary.
Reggae Boys Commentary. Like, share, and subscribe, please.
I'm Javon Watson, and you're watching Reggae Boys Commentary.
Yes, Reggae Boys Commentary, like and subscribe, yeah? Reggae Boys Commentary, like, share, and subscribe.
Reggae Boys Commentary, subscribe, like, and share. Is that the right order?
This video is brought to you by MPEC Printery, specializing in t-shirt printing, posters, and shipping from the USA. Call 876-775-6692 or 876-337-7374. Andy Gone Nuts, 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876-320-7711. That's 876-320-7711 or 876-351-1105. That's 876-351-1105. Hello everyone, good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How's everybody doing? Hope everyone is doing well. My name is Simon Preston and welcome back to Reggae Boys Commentary. This is the channel where we come together to discuss everything in relation to Jamaican football. This is your hub for everything Jamaican football related. So as you can see, I clearly see everything in the comments at this point in time. It's great that to see the support that we have been doing and everything like that. So it's great in the comments. Another banging video ahead. Finally, Omari getting his debut. Happy for him. And let's hope this is the start of more appearances. So clearly, the support in the comments, you guys clearly see, everything that has been meant to see. We'll analyze his performance specifically and what has been said about him in England relating to his performances and so on. But yeah, for now, it's positive that we can say that he was able to get an appearance, and that is in terms of playing for Jamaica, playing for Chelsea, that is in a Premier League game. Finally, an opportunity that perhaps I think should have happened, but sooner. But it's just great to see that this opportunity has come quite so at this point in time. Dr. Joyful says the biggest Jamaican baller. Make me proud, says Dr. Joyful. So that's another individual in the Premier League. Seeing him going on the field today, I must admit it was a proud moment. Really, really proud moment, honestly. Looking at him get to take on the field, you can only be filled with joy, honestly. There are some great things that we can reflect on from here, and we can just applaud that he was able to make his Premier League debut, also as a teenager as well. Bravo Rage Squadron says, does Bashir Humphreys have Jamaican roots? No, in fact, his heritage is Ghanaian. That's where, so born in England, but his heritage is from Ghana. So that's a situation where he's concerned. in the grand scheme of things. So his heritage is from Uganda. Uganda, that's where his heritage is from. So no Jamaican heritage there for Bashir Humphreys. So his heritage is Ugandan. That's where his links lie in the grand scheme of things. Before we look at, talk about the performance that he gave today, I just want to make this point in particular. And the point is in relation to how and what has been said in relation to on social media. Because I think that a lot of the things that have been said on social media have been tremendously unfair. Tremendously unfair. If you look at exactly what has been sent, it's really, really unfair. I felt your joy as well for you guys, says ISABs. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Great to hear from you. And if you look in the comments, based on what you've seen on social media, you have persons that are saying that, well, let's start with the positives. He's a 772nd player to represent Chelsea in the Premier League. Absolutely great. Great to see that happen. Absolutely great to see him. Lewis Hall, although Lewis Hall doesn't have Jamaican heritage, but just to say, it's great. Omari Hutchinson to take the field today. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And then you see in the comments that Omari Hutchinson, football is not for you. Pack your bags, go to uni. It's not late for you. And then Arsenal fan says, watching this Omari Hutchinson, and I'm so glad he left us. And then you have persons in the comments saying Arteta messaging Omari Hutchinson debut after Chelsea, which gives the impression mixed views. So that's why you can't read into everything that has been said. You can't read into everything that you've been seeing or seeing on social media, especially from a perspective because Arsenal fans, they'll have their agenda. They're bitter and they're disappointed that Omari Hutchinson decided to leave Arsenal and go to Chelsea. Right? They'll be extremely, extremely disappointed by that. Yeah? And then you have other individuals that are saying, this Omari Hutchinson situation remind me of Xavi Simons situations, and look at Xavi now. He'll come good, give him time. And those are the sorts of comments that we need to be reading. Those are the sorts of comments that we need to be acknowledging. Thank you guys for the super chat. Really, really appreciate it. So these are the things that we need to discuss. These are the things that we need to analyze. These are the things that we need to speak about. That's the reality of the situation. So, as it relates to Omari Hutchinson specifically, Omari might not have played his best ever game against Manchester City today, but one thing for sure is that it's only going to go up from here. It's only going to go up from here. He's going to be a better player tomorrow than he was today. He's going to be a better player next week than he was today. He's going to be a better footballer next year than he is right now. And that is fact. That is not opinion. That is fact. Cold, hard facts. Omari Hutchinson will be a better football player. Omari Hutchinson will be a better football player. He will. ISABs, yeah, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay as well. Great to hear from you, and hopefully everybody in your family is also doing well. Is Rika Lewis of Jamaican descent? Yes, he is actually. He is of Jamaican descent as well, so he has Jamaican heritage. So that's another individual that we can look out for in the future. Hopefully there's some good and stern dialogue in relation to the situation. And I want to thank everyone that has shown their support as well to this platform as well. Really, really appreciate you guys and your support. So, yeah. Yep, and Dr. Joyful has made it extremely clear that indeed, yep, he is. So it's an extensive list, as you can imagine. A very, very good list. So it's a very, 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 very big list. So yeah, he's eligible as well. Graham Potter on Omari Hutchinson. A young man with potential. And we look forward to seeing him flourish at this football club. So a lot of praise for what he can do. And for me, that's everything you need to hear from your coach. That's everything you need to hear from your manager, giving you that confidence to go out there, excel, learn from your mistakes, and move forward. Now, Omari Hutchinson should be thinking to himself, all right, well, we have Man City in the FA Cup on Sunday. I want to be in contention for that. I want to be in contention of the Fulham game in the Premier League next week, Thursday. These are the sorts of conversations that he should be having in his head as it relates to his mindset and what is next for him as well. So putting all of that into the situation, that's why it has to be said that these individuals and Omari Hutchinson would be looking forward. Which is good. Which is really, really good. So the FA Cup this weekend, yep, that's the starting point of it. That's the starting point of it. And that is where we should all be looking forward to what lies ahead. Exciting, isn't it? Well, it should be. Absolutely. Yes, he is. Yes, he is, Abs. I'm interested to hear what you guys will have to say in terms of his performance. I gave my thoughts about his display, and I feel like there will be more to come from him. I know Chelsea are in a very difficult situation in the league right now, but I don't think Graham Potter is the type of manager, and we've seen evidence from his time at Brighton and even when he was in Sweden that he's not a sort of manager that just gives you one game and just discards you. He's far from that. Absolutely far from that nature. So that's not anything that you have to be worried about at all. So long may it continue where he continues to give opportunities to certain players and even the Jamaican players as well. So I know many people are saying, well, Hey folks, so not sure what happened to the internet there, but we're back up and running and should be all systems go. So up next, as we mentioned, is the FA Cup. Someone who put on the Jamaica jersey playing the EPL, that's the best sights as a teenager. Absolutely. Checking in, big up Dre, any other sports? Check your WhatsApp, bro. Check your WhatsApp. All right. Sab says, okay, Jamaican footballers. Yeah, that's right. So it says here, Simon, so we might see a new Jamaican team for the upcoming Nations League. A new Jamaica team? I think many players that you saw against Argentina, you will generally see the makeup of that squad against Mexico in the Nations League with a handful of new additions. So I don't think it's going to be wholesale changes to say there's a complete brand new squad altogether. But you will see names and faces that you saw at Red Bull Arena in Harrison against Argentina, for sure. Timur Predikin says, good evening, Simon. Good evening, Timur. How are you? Hope you and the family are doing well. How is everything? How are everyone doing? Do let me know. Let me know how is everybody doing. Did you guys have the opportunity to watch Omari Hutchinson today come on for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang? Chelsea's form in the league, is that a cause for concern? These are some question marks that we can consider. And this, my friend, will be discussed in another video. If you guys haven't already, do hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel. All right. Just smash that like button, folks. All you got to do is just smash that like button. All right. So, and we can discuss about that. So let's hear the questions that you guys will have to say in the comments as well. Omari Hutchinson as a number 10 or as a front three? For Jamaica, I'm not going to put him down to just one position. I'm not going to tie him down to one position. I think that we have to look at him in both areas for Jamaica, and then we can be able to say, yes, this is where he's better, or there's certain games where he can have a different skill set or responsibilities than others. But I'm not going to say that we should be tying him down to just one position for Jamaica. I wouldn't do that. So I'll keep both of those areas open towards him. As Abdi says, Jamaica needs to capture the young man before England call up. Well, the next FIFA window, as we know, is March, is against Mexico. So that is the grand opportunity for this to be done and dusted quite soon. Ian Campbell says, blessings, people. Blessings, Sir Campbell. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. How's everybody? How's Mr. Campbell? How are you doing? Hope all is well. So, yeah. Everyone is doing all right, my friend. I trust that it is the same for you. Most things under control, my friend. Most things under control. No complaints. Tough team to make your debut against. He was okay in his performance. I think that is a fair analysis, especially coming from a Chelsea fan. So, guys, if you want to hop in the chats as well, you guys are more than willing and able to do so as well. Just hop in the chat, and you'll be able to see the link if you want to hop on for a few minutes to give your thoughts. You know, would really, really appreciate it. There's a question for Mr. Campbell. Mr. Campbell, what is the latest with Ellis Sims and Cameron Eubank? Well, I can say Cameron Eubank is close to a Jamaican passport, while Ellis Sims, I know that his paternal grandmother is having difficulty finding her documents. So that is what I'm aware of at this point in time. So sad, isn't it? Well, that's where we are. that's where we are at this point in time, you know? So, what can we say? Well, we're in a scenario and in a situation where Ellis Sims, things need to move faster. Can the RGD come to the rescue? Well, that needs to happen. And that needs to happen very, very fast. Like, as soon as possible. As soon as possible, this needs to happen. Like, very, very soon. So, yeah. Simon, glad for the new coach for the team, so no other players can influence the team. The best players going forward, no matter where they are born. I'm sure every Jamaican football fan, analyst, scout is very happy with that. I think you're looking at a scenario where, in this particular instance, it is a scenario of excitement, because there is, after 2 games, I don't think there's any sign that you can say there is favoritism or anything of that nature. Question marks have been raised in the past, but that is not a question that is being raised presently. So from that aspect, you can clearly say that there's something that you can reflect on with fondness, where it can be discussed, brought about, and basically given the, the attention that it deserves. So yeah. Big up Simon, the man with the real deal. Jarvis Paris, how are you doing, sir? I hope you and the family are doing well. Hope everybody is doing well, staying safe, and everything of that nature, Do let me know how's everybody doing. And thank you guys in the comments. Really, really appreciate it. So, Omari Hutchinson, guys, I know everybody's going to be excited and everything of that nature. So yeah. Does Dennis Chung have any influence on Pika and RGD to look about player paperwork in less than 10 days? Does he have contacts at these agencies? Yes, but influence, Dr. Joyful? No. Influence in these sorts of areas, we're talking about the Minister of Sports, we're talking about the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and we're also discussing as well the Prime Minister. Those are the areas that show and have basically those key factors, you know what I mean? And those are the areas that we have to consider. So yeah. Let's see what our good friend Kimo has to say as he joins us within the chat to share some words. Yo, General, how are you doing? All as well?
Good day, Simon.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Good day to everyone in the comment section as well. I just joined actually.
Okay.
But I saw the headlines that Omari made his debut today.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing. Hope the timing is right. But I didn't get to watch a match. I was really tired after I came from work. However, I read some of the comments,
Right.
Maybe he wasn't up to par. I mean, it's his first game, and I think a game like this, with the atmosphere, in the context, playing against a Manchester City team who really needs a win to kind of close the gap, against Arsenal, which is my team. It wasn't gonna be an easy game before even this match. It wasn't gonna be an easy game. Well, I was looking for even a draw, but the fact that Chelsea, they needed a win more than ever, just the same as Man City, who's trying to close the gap on Arsenal. But I feel good that he got his I was looking forward to him making his debut. Yeah, I wasn't looking for him to make his debut against Man City. Maybe the other teams, the more maybe a middle table team, so maybe he would have more confidence. But I mean, it's the first game, and if he can make his debut against a Manchester City team, I'm not sure at what time he was subbed on. You sure about that?
Yeah, he came on in the 65th minute thereabouts. So basically half an hour to basically start his stuff. So decent jump.
Yeah, so a decent amount of minutes. So we're looking forward to see maybe making an appearance in maybe the League Cup now. One of those cup games. I think Chelsea also have Man City again. But I hope that will do a good for his confidence, even though they didn't came out winners today. But it's good for us as the Reggae Boys Nation. I mean, it's early. Luckily, he wasn't getting his debut maybe last year and getting a run of games, So Gareth Southgate can actually maybe, he knows how talented this player is as well. But I mean, we have the Nations League in a few months' time, a month or so. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to see him in the team because he's still young. He's like, 20, I think, 19, 20. Yeah, and maybe the next 2 years he will start to matriculate in that kind of player that we really want. So it's early times. So knowing that we have a new coach and new sponsors, he can now grow with the team and try to be there whenever the squad picks. If he's injury free, he can be there. So it's a good. We know we have a lot more players out there that we want to be in the team because I'm looking forward to see a strong team to go up against Mexico away. We can pick the strongest team possible and go hard at that game so we can win. And start off the year with a bang, knowing that new coach, new sponsor, start the journey towards the next World Cup campaign. We can get a lot of confidence because I think there's a third and fourth in also the Nations League. Yeah. So that even if say we lose in the semi-final, which we don't want, because I think after beating a Mexico team, our confidence will be really high. The players coming back again for the semi-final, the confidence will be really high, and then we will be going into the CONCACAF Gold Cup in high spirits. Then, So I'm looking forward to see a lot of practice friendlies. Players getting their passport. Well, that depends on the JFF administration and PICA. Or they're gonna start out players getting their passport. Yeah, so there's so much things to look at. But we just have to take them one step at a time. I'm here anxious day by day just to see what the design of the jersey will look like in the end. I'm here every day checking out these platforms, these sites to see the new Adidas jersey, but I heard that will be in February.
Right, yeah. In the start of February, we should be able to see that. I mean, you said earlier that you're a Chelsea fan, so...
No, I'm an Arsenal fan.
Arsenal fan. so far. Yes, my apologies. How did you feel when, Hutchinson, somebody that you raised in the academy, went over to Chelsea? Was it a surprise knowing that Arsenal develops young players well, give the opportunities, that he would go over to Chelsea?
Well, to be honest, me and most of my Arsenal fans
Mhm.
talk about this issue times upon times when we know see him on the bench. And I thought this season maybe would be Omari's season because, we don't have a problem putting young players out there to see with the likes of Bukayo Saka. So I think this season would be the season where maybe we would see Omari Hutchinson out there. Maybe he wouldn't start, but we would see him time after time coming off the bench because he made they made the squad for a lot of games last season.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember, but remember with some of the times coaches do not put the player out there immediately. They let them be on the bench to understand the changing room with the professionals to see how it is done and their way of life, and also to get an off the field experience by just watching and being around. So I mean, the coach knows the time. But remember, these players also have their agents and they're marketing them. So it's some of the time it's more than just what we on the sideline thinks.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that this season would be because as you can see, there's not much depth. Arsenal is my team. Yes, we're leading the league, but I'm fearful of depth
Mm-hmm.
where my team is concerned. In the Newcastle game, maybe if we had like three attacking players, three attacking players to go to that can come on and win me the game. I didn't see that. I didn't see that. So, I mean, let's see how the winner goes because we have to finish strong in order to win this league. City has the experience, and this is the time that City, started to clench their fists and go hard at it. Um, but
Mm-hmm.
Amari is like one of the most watched talent for us as Reggae Boys fans, because we wouldn't want a talent like this to slip out.
Mm-hmm.
As early as possible, we can get him. Yes, persons are saying a lot in the comment section, like on other pages, that he didn't play well, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, we know the talent of this player.
Mm-hmm.
And we know with a few years or so, he can matriculate into something good. We don't want to wait. We just have to see signs and we work with it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we won't get the end product in the beginning. It's after maybe a one or two. And it's consistency. The more he plays, he will get better.
Yeah.
Yes, the more he plays, he will get better. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I understand what you mean. But if you feel that if Amari was still at Arsenal, would he have already have made his Premier League debut, you think, and not just making his debut today? Would that chance
Yeah,
come?
confident. He would. With the likes of Marquinhos and those guys, he would. Maybe in the Europa League, maybe in the what do you call it, the Carabao Cup,
Mm-hmm.
and the FA Cup on Monday against Oxford. I mean, we don't have that big squad with depth, so we have no other choice even now to maybe use Omari if he was in the squad, and if he was a Arsenal player.
Yeah. Yeah, fully understand what you mean there. And based on the feedback, that your fellow Arsenal fans are giving as well, as you know, Arsenal is like the people's club in many ways. It represents what London is. And it's no
Yeah.
surprise that you have others there with Jamaican heritage in the academy and so on and so forth. How are the fans feeling about Arteta and like giving young players opportunities at the club? Because some of those young players have Jamaican heritage as well, as you know.
Yeah, we know about the likes of Emil Smith Rowe.
Mm. Yeah.
He had Jamaican heritage, even though of his color, white. He's a white, you know.
Yeah.
But, we know about Maitland Niles,
Mm.
Bruce Nelson, I think,
Yeah.
and also there's a lot of academy players as well. Likes of Keita Taylor Hart. I think some guy a kid by the name of Edwards.
Yeah.
you know.
Yes.
But I think I would love if these guys could maybe the JFF or whosoever, John Wall, let's say, he will be responsible for the youth. I mean, just as how we can know it, there are other persons who know it just the same and passing on this information to them that here we have a player from Arsenal Academy that can also plays. He has Jamaican heritage, blah blah blah. So maybe they have their eye already on them, So, and I think when Arteta first took the job, we were really worried because we wanted the result right away. I wasn't certain that he was a man for the job, but you can feel the difference with Arsenal right now, the team. If I mean, Simon, you're watching football for decades now. So you're a Manchester United fan. You see the difference between when in the past, maybe the last maybe 10 years, when Arsenal face Manchester United, the type of performance that they would have in the past. But for the past maybe 3 seasons, even this season, you can see there's a difference with this Arsenal team. They might be in a certain position a couple years back where they would lose a game, and you can feel it coming. This time around for this season, it's different. And I think that if Arsenal wins the league, knowing that they're still short of a bench, they still have young players. If these young players, I said to someone, I think yesterday, that if the Arsenal team, can come and win this league, knowing that we didn't have the full product, which is we have a good starting 11. We don't have players for like players that can replace players for each position, quality on and off the field, quality on the bench, quality on the field. If we don't have that, but if we can win the league with what we have now, with maybe a few signings in the January transfer and come back strong, again, I think we will be hard to beat even next season. And the confidence, these are still young players, the confidence will be high. They will have experience when it comes to January and they lead in the league. They will know what is expected of them, how to perform. They will know what it's like to go down to Liverpool in the second half of the season, to go to Manchester. Every one of these games for us now is important. It doesn't matter if it's Nottingham Forest, it doesn't matter if it's Leeds. Every game, right, from here on is important.
Very, very important, as you rightly said. And, let's talk a little bit about Keita Taylor-Hart, somebody that is progressing well in the academy at Arsenal as well. Arteta has shown that he's willing to give opportunities as well. I'm not sure if you had a chance to watch him in the academy games or any snippets online based on what you have seen of him so far.
Oh, you're talking about when he was with Arsenal?
Yeah, Keita Taylor-Hart.
Keita. Yeah, Keita is Keita has talent. I think I'm not sure if he's injured right now, but Keita is a good player, and I think that if we can get Keita in and around the national setup, within, say, we get some friendlies, because he shows a lot of passion. I think on his bio on Instagram, he has a England and a Jamaican flag.
Yeah.
Same as the guy, the tall defender from Liverpool called Reece Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good. I remember these guys are still young, still learning their trade, so they only can get better. And it's for the past like 2 years since I've been watching these contents that you guys put out. It let me be keen more to like championship football, even League Two, and just to keep an eye on the prospects out there that can play for Jamaica. Some of these players that might be playing in the championship right now, they were actually coming from a Manchester City academy or a Liverpool or a Chelsea. So it's not like you'll be like, they played for Stoke City, they played for Middlesbrough. They're not good enough. These guys got the most professional training from some of the top clubs. So it's not because they didn't matriculate into the the Chelsea senior team, the Liverpool senior team, they are not good. For who doesn't understand and who doesn't dig deep and do their research, but remember England is big. Because we have guys like Max Aarons now playing for Norwich. He's good. Yes. He can play for England. I mean, when Calvin Phillips got his first call up, he was caught the eyes of Gareth Southgate. He was playing for Leeds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was playing for Leeds. Ivan Toney, the likes of Ivan Toney as well. We have what's the guy named from Norwich? He was playing for Bournemouth, I think, at one point.
Bournemouth?
The Talia guy. I think he was playing for he used to play for Norwich. Yeah, he scored a few goals when they got promoted to the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think maybe injuries, he's now on the bench. We know that Isaac Hayden is now.
Yeah.
Isaac Hayden is now at
Norwich on loan. Yeah.
Yeah, Norwich on loan. But that guy scored, the guy that I'm talking about, I forgot his name. He's brown. He's white.
Mm-hmm.
He scored against Manchester City when he was playing for Norwich in the Premier League, when they were in the Premier League.
Yeah. I think it's Cantwell.
Todd Cantwell.
Yeah.
Todd Cantwell.
Mm-hmm.
He can play for Jamaica as well, right?
That's right. He's one of them.
I'm not sure based on the whole xenophobia thing, color, if he would consider us, because I think that the more players we have,
Mm-hmm.
the more options it will be for us. I prefer the job on selecting the national team for the national team.
Yeah.
I prefer it to be hard than for us to be scratching our heads whenever. Scratching our heads. I prefer scratch my heads to know that I'm trying to pick a strong team and the team is hard to pick because there's so much talent, than be scratching my head to because there's a mediocre standard of players to choose from.
Mm-hmm.
If you understand where I'm going. So It's good. I can see good things happening from here.
Yeah.
I only can say this because I've been following up the national team for the past 2 years consistently.
Right.
But for someone outside that just looks in now and then, only when maybe a match is playing, they come to the national stadium and look, they won't understand. They won't have the passion like the likes of me and you and others. They would maybe easily get frustrated and give up. But we know and see the potential, and we know the prospects that are out there that can actually play for us, and that's what gives us the hope. That's what gives us the hope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well said. You hit the nail right on the head there. It would be great to come to a stage where the fans, when they go to the stadium, and you say, for an example, Omari go out, touch the field and say, who that number 7 baller there? Who that number 9 baller there? Because as you know, back in the day, we'd have friendlies every month. Football has changed, so you don't have a lot of international windows like you did. So the hope is that, the fans can get acquainted with these players.
That's really important.
Yeah.
I think the only way we're gonna have a football culture, if we're starting to, maybe if we can win the Nations League this year or win the Gold Cup, or even go further, and players putting out a lot of performances and the fans are pleased, then we can build. Because I think, look at this, you see the vibe that goes on when schoolboy football and the whole passion. If that can be, if that can cross over into the national team, because Jamaicans have a vibe in anything they do. If they're selling something downtown, there's a vibe whilst doing it. So just imagine if the national team is playing good and getting in the performance. You'll see maybe a lot of banners in the stadium, people dressing for the occasion, jersey out, everyone has their jersey color, that kind of, like at the spirit, you'll feel it. The music, everyone will be on the same page. And that's something that can help. If the players overseas come and see that kind of atmosphere, it will be something that they will be looking forward to time and time. Because that's something I'm sure I got the chance to speak to Grant, Antonio,
Yeah.
a couple other players, and they during the World Cup qualifiers, and that was something that they crave for. They want to see what the crowd is like, the Jamaican fans crowd is like when the stadium is full, and they didn't get the opportunity. None of them got the opportunity to see that. So hopefully we can start getting some friendlies. Maybe we know that basically every tournament now will be hosted in the United States. Not like we're gonna get, maybe hopefully we can get. You remember the time in 2019 we got like 2 games in one day, a double header that took place at the National Stadium.
That's right.
Well, hopefully we can get something like that for the Gold Cup, because the only thing that was confirmed, no, I think the stadiums are already confirmed. Yeah, so hopefully we can get some. We will have to bank on the friendlies then, and the friendly is gonna build that kind of consistency leading up to the next World Cup qualifiers. That's in 2025 to 2026. Yeah, so but we have to. I'm really excited and anxious to see what this coach will bring. And I think that if he gets the time, as long as this coach gets the time and gets the crop of players to a certain ilk that he's looking for, we'll see the performance. Because in the Argentina game, I was really impressed up until the 80th minute. I didn't really watch the goals. Didn't really care about the goals, but for them to hold out a team like that up until, and it's just that we weren't finishing the chances. I want to see Jamaicans taking not just a full chance, but we need to start to take half a chance in games, because sometimes we're not gonna get a full, clear, open opportunity. Sometimes we have to make something out of nothing, or whatever I'm saying, nothing out of something in games like this. Sometimes it's a little spark and a moment that decide a game. But I'm really impressed. I can see the difference with the national teams from back then to now, because time is really evolving day by day, by the second. We now have people on platforms that are highlighting and applying the pressure, and putting out a lot of content so that the fans can see, people from the diaspora can know what's taking place. And I think that is good. It's not gonna happen overnight. Maybe the real effect and the real result that we want will come by 2026, and we want to. And I hope the grassroots program is really something that we're paying attention to, because that's what all of the most dominant and dominant teams, clubs and countries look forward to, their youth. You understand? We won't have players playing for long. Say 10 years. Each players have 10 years. 10 years of good performance out of them. And injuries play an integral role in football or any sport at all. So we have to always remember that. But I think the youth is very important as well for us going forward, because if that under-20 team qualified for the World Cup, the under-20 World Cup, that will be a big boost for the national team going forward, because in the next maybe 2 years or so, maybe some of those, when they go to the World Cup and perform, that's where some of these guys will attract major contracts from bigger clubs as well, when they put in a good shift. You understand? So yeah, but I hope the under-17 can go all the way. Yeah, I hope the under-17 can do that.
Yep, big games that lie ahead for the under-17. Their qualifier starts next month. Kimo, really appreciate your time, man. Thanks for coming on. man, feel free to drop by every now and again whenever you're
For
on.
sure, I'm always in the comment section, man.
Big
I'm
up.
always in the comment section.
Really, really appreciate it. Yeah, man, Kimo. All right,
Okay,
man.
take care next time, man.
Yeah, man. Have a good evening, boss. Cool. Kimo having a chat with us today. All right, up to the minute with us says, here we go. Yep. All right, folks. So the situation now is in relation to the FA Cup this weekend. And if you look at the FA Cup that lies ahead this weekend, you will have quite a number of Jamaicans that will be taking the field for these sorts of fixtures. This is the third round of the competition, and this is a stage where we have 64 teams taking part. So a lot of games, real lot of games, taking part. Clive McLean says, great show. That young man is my soldier. Always talk sense. Big up, Clive. Hope you're doing good. Really appreciate your comment within the chat. So if you look at the FA Cup, you will have a number of persons, not only of Jamaican heritage, but Jamaican internationals that will be taking the field for this encounter. Daniel Johnson and Preston North End will face John Russell and Huddersfield Town. So that will be a big game. You could say a Pennines derby. Lancashire versus Yorkshire. You guys get the drift, right? Tottenham against Portsmouth. And remember, Portsmouth not too long ago were a Premier League team. They dropped to League Two, and then they slowly but surely built their way up, little by little by little by little by little. And now they're in League One, and Ryan Turnercliffe is at the club. Other games, Gillingham against Leicester City. Gillingham against Leicester City. Gillingham are a League Two side, Gillingham are a League Two side. As we know, Tyrone Marshall was so close to signing for this team in particular. And that's Gillingham specifically. Forest Green Rovers. Jamil Matt against Birmingham City. What a game this is. Oh my days, what a game this is. Jordan Garrick and Jamil Matt. Yeah, Jordan Garrick left Swansea City. So Jordan Garrick is now a player at Forest Green Rovers. So yeah, done deal. Deal is done. And he joins his countryman, Jamil Matt. So great opportunity, a team that got promoted from League Two last year. And as it relates to how Jamil Matt and his team are doing right now within League One, well, Forest Green not doing so well. They're at the foot of League Two right now. They still need some work to do within the league. But, still an opportunity for them to go out there and make a good impression. Kimo, big up, man. Thanks for tuning into the chat. Really appreciate it. It's like every game, there's something to look out for. Palace against Southampton, Reading against Watford, Middlesbrough against Brighton, Chesterfield against West Brom, Bournemouth, Lloyd Doyley, the manager there, against Accrington Stanley, Bournemouth, Burnley. Big games. Massive games this weekend. From tomorrow with United against Everton, all the way up to Monday, where Oxford United faces against Arsenal. And who won Oxford United? Yep, you know who he is. Javan Anderson, the man who can speak patois. Yeah, man. Yeah, Javan Anderson, 27 now. He's a right back, was in the Ajax Academy, represented the Netherlands at the under-17 and under-18 sort of level. Got called up for Suriname, but he didn't play. So he still remains eligible for Jamaica. Until he takes the field for Surinamese outfit, he remains eligible for, that's right, Jamaica. Yep. Let's see what Dexter Lembikisa, the right back, the 19-year-old, will do as he gets more opportunities at Wolverhampton Wanderers. So we'll keep a special eye out for him and see his sort of development and progress through things. Any more transfer news on Jamaican players moving this transfer window? Well, yeah, Jordan Garrick, he's moved from Swansea and he's gone over to Forest Green Rovers. As it relates to other players in particular, the situation with Shamar Bowes and Nicholson has cooled. A bid has not been put in for him in particular. And in addition to that as well, Alex Marshall could be close on a return to the Jamaica Premier League. Justin McMaster in particular, he has been released from Minnesota United and surveying some options that lie ahead within the Major League Soccer. So those are the things that we can look out for quite soon. Ultras, check in, check. Mr. Blake, check. Hopefully come April, both Jamaica and Somalia under 17 for the qualifier for the World Cup in Peru. Let me tell you something, if Jamaica and Somalia qualify for the World Cup, that would be something, man. What a moment that would be. Really, really special moment. So Jamaica has been to the under 17 FIFA World Cup twice, 1999 in New Zealand and 2011, which was in Mexico. In Mexico, Jamaica took on Japan, fell 1-0. Argentina fell 2-1, and France, which Jamaica drew with 1-1. And just let this sink in for a moment, folks. Do you know who was on the field for France that day? Do you know who was on the field for France the day they took on Jamaica, which had Andre L.A. Lewis, Romario Williams, Omar Holness, Richard Trench? Albert Pauls didn't play that day because remember, he was suspended after yellow card accumulation. Remember? Right. Do you remember? You remember who was on the French team for that tournament in particular? Well, Benjamin Mendy, Kurt Zouma, Sebastian Haller, Améric Laporte, Bakayoko. Yep, those players were on the field. Those players were there as France drew 1-1 with Jamaica. I remember a Jamaican team that day: Richard Trench, O'Shane Jenkins, Kimo Wallace, Quante Smith, Abatil Smith, Romario Williams, Romario Jones, Omar Holness, Jason Wright, L.A. Lewis, Patrick Palmer, Cardell Benbow. So, what does that tell you? What does that tell you right there? Zalana Barnes. Oh. Just think about that for a moment and give me your thoughts. Just process that for a moment and let me know what you guys think. Yeah. So yeah. Them man want the whole of England come play for Jamaica. Oh boy, I tell you. I've been balling out for a summary of the technical report from the under-20 qualifiers. Can you tell us why all of the team except Alvas failed to move on to play in the top league of any country? All right, Jean-Claude Lawson played in the top league in Canada, in the CPL. The 4 goalkeepers we carried didn't do anything. Andre L.A. Lewis was drafted by an MLS team, but at Vancouver, things just didn't materialize. Omar Holness was in Major League Soccer, but injuries hampered his progress in particular. So apart from Alvas Powell, Omar Holness, L.A. Lewis, Jean-Claude Lawson, I don't think the players acquitted themselves well. That's personally how I feel. I think Richard Trench should have been a professional, but he never did. Hey Simon, sorry if this has been answered, just joined us. But does Omari accept a call-up in March if asked? Yeah, absolutely. Players of Jamaican heritage want to play for Jamaica. Look out, both your passports ASAP. Simple as that. Seemed like a lot of people didn't learn from what happened with Morocco in the World Cup. 14 players. I repeat again, 14 players of Morocco's 26 members of their World Cup squad were born in France, Netherlands, Spain, Canada. 14 members. 14. Yep. 14. Yep, 14. Serious analysis. I'm asking for you to really dig deep because almost 60% of the French team have moved on to play at the highest level. Yep, that is true. And you know what was a major thing of those French players? All of them, every single one of them, were attached to clubs. The same cannot be said of all from a Jamaican standpoint. Not all. How's that young man at Toulouse doing? Is 26 young in football? Well, put it this way. The coach thinks that there are certain aspects of his game that need more attention to detail. And I just don't think that Flemo is going to be in a situation where he's going to be at Toulouse next season. Loan deals are being looked at, and the possibility exists that at the end of the transfer window, Junior Flemings could be playing his trade elsewhere. And when I mean elsewhere, I mean outside of Toulouse. If a deal cannot be reached, then in the summer. And this is basically a year and a half. He's now 1 year into it. Even in League 2, they didn't get a whole lot of minutes in League 2. But we hope for the best. And we want the best for the players. So that's where we are with this situation. Yep, quite a situation. But it's the FA Cup time now, folks, where we're going to see some Jamaicans advance, some of them get knocked out, and some shocks, surprises. Yep. Big up 1-1. Hope you guys are well. If you guys haven't already, smash that like button as well. Like up the video. Right. Simon, are you following what's happening in the US with Berhalter? Never a dull moment in CONCACAF. Yeah. So my thing is this, right? This happened, I think, in 1991. Okay. He did something wrong. This was 30 years ago, over 30 years ago. Let's move on from it. That's my thoughts about the process. But yeah. Respect, guys. Big up to everybody that has tuned in. Big up to everybody. General 1-1 up. Yeah, guys. So, everyone, hope everybody is able to cataract the original oligarch up. Respect, says Chris Smith. Yeah. Hmm. 26 is young in general life. Yeah, it is. It is young in general life. Absolutely. Big up Chris. Big up Chris. Big up 1-1. Yeah, man. So yeah, folks, quite a discussion that we've had the past hour or so, looking at different aspects of Jamaican football, what lies ahead, Omari Hutchinson and his situation, getting opportunities to play. Like the video, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Let's hear what you guys have to say. Are you excited about what is to come for Omari Hutchinson? Do you think that there is a bright future ahead? I'm eager to hear what each and every one of you will have to say where this is concerned, because there's a lot to go through. So, folks, thanks so much for tuning in to Reggae Boys Commentary this evening. Really, really appreciate it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Does Omari Hutchinson, for you, get a call up for the game against Mexico? All right, folks. Vincent Alvarado says, Simon, do you believe Blair Turgott will return to the team? I think he'll get an opportunity. Yeah, I think he will get an opportunity. Can you tell us if Curtis Jones is on the list of Merseyside players? No, he's not on the list of Merseyside players. The list of Merseyside players lie in the blue half. The blue half. Do you think Omar will play for Jamaica? Omari Hutchinson? Yeah, man. But yeah, in terms of the Merseyside players that Mr. Blake has just mentioned, it's the blue half. It's the blue half of Merseyside that we're talking about. The blue half of Merseyside is something that is under consideration. So one of the players is in the first team, and the other player that is in the blue half of Merseyside is in the academy. So I'll leave it there. And what I can say is that the person in the academy is not Elijah Campbell. While Elijah Campbell does possess Jamaican heritage, Elijah is not being contacted, but Elijah does have Jamaican heritage. I can confirm that, and I'll do what is the deal as it relates to Elijah in another video. That's something I'll do in another video in particular. But yes, Elijah has Jamaican heritage. Simon, it is Dwight McNeil, Damari Gray, Ben Godfrey, Mason Holgate, Godfrey Gray. So what about R. Williams at Liverpool? Well, he's on loan right now, so he's not right now, as we speak, on Merseyside. He's at Blackpool right now, which is in Lancashire. So, yeah, that's where we're right now. Simon, Dwight is 23 years old. Don't you think he should get a look in? My honest opinion is that Dwight McNeil should get an opportunity. That's how I feel about it. I think that he should get 5 games for Jamaica. And after those 5 games for Jamaica, we can decide if he fits the bill for what we are trying to do. As we're going to be looking at a 4-4-2 system. So that's where we are right now. Everton under 3 centre-back pairing are both Jamaican heritage, and the under 17 centre-back pairing are also of Jamaican heritage. That is correct. That is correct, sir. So it shouldn't be a surprise regarding the situations of Reese and Elijah. So this should be looked at with fondness, especially with Roman Dixon, Samuel Smith, Edward Jones, you know. Just to name a few that are basically in the Toffee Academy. And the Toffees don't have they have a decent history in producing players of Jamaican heritage, like Kieran Agard, who was at Everton. So alongside a few others that have made that sort of transition as well. So Everton is a good place for the kids to learn their craft. And they play at Hague Avenue, which is basically in Southport. But yeah, they're based at Finch Farm, which is in Halewood. A player in the Everton first team and a player in Everton's academy. How did the meeting go with Hayden? Progressive. Big future ahead. Just keep it cool and make him way to full time. Vincent says, "Cal Jamaica support a two-man midfield." I don't think that the middle four. I don't think both of the wide midfielders are going to be flying wingers. What I feel will happen is that one of the two wide players will tuck in centrally, and one of the wide players will give that opportunity to come in and operate like a number 10 in a sense. Xenophobia Massive will object to Harvey Barnes' hairstyle. Yeah, you're right. Simon, because only Leon Bailey is playing at top level like Dwight McNeil, we don't have next swingers like on Dwight McNeil level. I'm not saying no, Chris. I'm not saying no. I don't think he's going to get a call up for the Mexico game, to be quite frank with you. But I'm not saying no, don't call him up. Honestly, I'm being completely frank. I would give him a call up. I'm just being frank. I don't think Dwight McNeil is going to get a call up for the game against Mexico. Yeah, Godfrey is very good, and Holgate is a piece. Wild losses it does mad things, but still a good player and a huge upgrade. Yeah. But yeah, that's the situation, folks, and more breaking news to come. Yep, more updates to come your way, folks. So stay tuned to Reggae Boys Commentary for more content. Stay tuned for everything. A lot is going to come your way. And if you haven't already, hit that like button. And if you haven't already, smash that like button. And if you haven't already, smash the subscribe button right now. All right, guys? Smash that subscribe button right now. All right? Anything on Lloyd Kelly? Lloyd Kelly, no, he has not been contacted by the Jamaica Football Federation at all. Hasn't been contacted at all. So, yeah. But, folks, thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Don't forget as well to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Reggae Boys Commentary for more content. All right, guys, smash that subscribe button right now.
This video is brought to you by MPEC Printery, specializing in t-shirt printing, posters, and shipping from the USA. Call 876-775-6692 or 876-337-7374. Andy Gone Nuts, 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471. This video is also brought to you by BLC Jamaica Security Electronics, specializing in alarm system, video surveillance, camera system or CCTV, barrier system, gate automation, and access control. Call 876-320-7711. That's 876-320-7711 or 876-351-1105. That's 876-351-1105.